can you imagine Donald Trump standing up one day and delivering a State of the Union address?
Well, I can imagine it in a Saturday night skit. I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
He will never be president of the United States.
Donald Trump will never be elected president of the United States.
Now, Donald Trump is not going to become president of the United States.
Donald Trump is not going to be president of the United States. Ever respectful of the fact that the people have not voted, he's not going to be president of the United States.
Donald Trump is not going to be president of the United States.
Let's be clear. Donald Trump will lose the election.
I have one thing to say, one thing only, and that is that this race is over.
I think Donald Trump will be the nominee and will lose badly.
No one's going to be happier than President Obama when Trump loses. No one, except for me.
I think that Donald Trump's campaign is over.
Like it's a zombie, right? Like it's a walking dead. It's not.
There's nowhere for him to go.
And the fact that most people think Donald Trump is going to lose.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump. That's not going to happen.
When the inevitable happens, which is a very substantial landslide victory on November 8th.
And we need, when this race is over, to talk about why that was. I personally think this race is over.
To me, this race is over.
Politico's latest survey of political insiders agrees, quote, Clinton will crush Trump in November.
Just last week, he confirmed to the National Review that he is again considering a run in 2016.
Do it. Do it. Look at me. Do it. I will personally write you a campaign check now on behalf of this country, which does not want you to be president, but which badly wants you to run.
Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke.
Is that people think that Donald Trump is a clown.
Donald Trump is a clown.
I mean, does anybody seriously think that Donald Trump is serious about running for president?
Donald Trump, you know, he's a clown.
So basically, this is the beginning of the end for Trump.
The beginning of the end.
Beginning of the end?
This is probably starting of the beginning of the end for Donald Trump.
So right now we have Hillary's about a 75 or an 80% favorite. We have different versions of the forecast you can look at.
The poll has Hillary Clinton up by double digits nationally, 12 points, 50 to 38, four-way race.
Now, I'm walking around Ohio. I sense a great disturbance in the force. As I walk around here and I watch the people and I hear people either talking to them or overhearing them, here's the sense that I got. Oh no, Trump's gonna win. They're not gonna vote for Hillary Clinton. I'm looking around at these folks thinking, really? Oh God, the establishment doesn't get it. Like, it's not that she's a woman, although that, by the way, Hillary screams, I am your standard politician. I'm the same politician you've seen all your life. And these folks don't look like they're in the mood for it.
It is time for this incredible woman to step into the role that she is meant to have. And we,
all of us, are going to help her get there.
Okay.
Here she is!
Hey, guys.
I've been talking
So go check out healthcare.gov or call 1-800-318-2596, and someone will personally help you.
You shouldn't have. What was that? Is that a dog?
Hillary!
It's Hillary.
Reporting it, Katie. You're not reporting it, Katie. But there's something happening, Katie. There's something happening, Katie.
They're chanting USA, USA, USA here. The mood only grows happier by the minute.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business.
A lot of people have laughed at me over the years. Now they're not laughing so much.
Thank you for allowing our country to have the freedom and opportunity to vote in a democratic and civil fashion. I would like to congratulate Miss Clinton on her winning of the President of the United States. What? Hillary Clinton didn't win.
Donald Trump won. Donald Trump is the new president. Dear America, heads up world, this one's gonna sting. Donald Trump is your new boss! Let me be the first to explain to you what actually happened. America happened. America!
I love Mexican people.
At least I can legally get fucking high because this sucks. And also, Canada's immigration website crashed. We're all gonna die. I hate this year.
You mean the Chaos Emeralds?
My roommate came out to me today. She's a woman of color who said, I am so scared for my life. I am so scared because the people who called me the N-word when I was in high school voted for this man. I am so afraid. How can you?
It's my right to show you.
It's so difficult when you hear that coming from a loved one. And you know you can't do much about it, but I'm here to say we are a community. We are Hofstra fucking University, people. We are going to stand for what is right. We are going to protect each other. We are going to love each other. And if you're afraid, look at all of these people around you. This is your community. They will make sure that nothing happens to you. They will fight to achieve your right to love, your right to any religion. Look out for each other. Hug each other and love each other. Because this is what we have, and this is what is important. And it is okay to be afraid. It is okay to be angry. All of your feelings right now are 110% valid. So just take care of yourselves today and know that tomorrow's going to be okay. And the next day is going to be okay, and we're going to get better. We're going to heal from this. Because we're Hofstra University and are part of one of the greatest nations in the world. It might not feel like that right now, but I know that we are, and I know that we can do good. So have a great day, people, and love each other.
People
People voted for Hillary, but the system favored Trump. Thing is, he's not gonna be my president. He's not only disrespecting me and my beliefs and my gender, but my friends' beliefs, gender, and religion. And that's not the kind of president that needs to be in office. I hope your conscience is okay that your friends are out there afraid for their lives because you are allowing that this bigot become president.
Look at me. Feel the anger inside of you.
It's not what a lot of millennials wanted. Things are really crazy. I don't know. It's a really hard thing. It's really hard. Ever thought that he would have won? When he announced that he was running, I thought it was a joke. When he won, I was just waiting for him to say this is a joke.
This is the view at Clinton headquarters, obviously reacting to that news in Florida. Long faces at this.
Stunning information as it's been progressing here of Donald Trump winning Iowa, which was pretty much anticipated, and Florida. But this is such a narrow path. And for all this time, we've been talking about the multiple paths that she had and the narrow path that he had. And clearly that was a misjudgment by all of the conventional wisdom. So pollsters missed it, correspondents missed it, all of the analysis. The focus on the early vote, which was clearly misplaced because we were attributing too much weight to the early vote and not counting what was still out there.
Andrea Mitchell at the Clinton headquarters, where there has been a sharp reaction to that news that Florida has gone to Donald Trump. It is the opposite reaction.
Going through some of the exit polling data, and you came across something fascinating.
Well, this is fascinating. One of the swing groups that we have been watching in this election is suburban women who swung from Bush to Obama won them in the last election, and we were wondering where they would go.
Hillary Clinton was in Wisconsin, we just checked, was April 2nd, 7 months ago. So a tight...
If you voted for Donald Trump, you voted for people like me to be put in fucking camps like Auschwitz. You voted for that!
Wolf, the scene here is so different than it was a few hours ago when people were happy and relaxed. I have been looking around the room at people who are stone-faced. Some of them have been crying. We have seen people leaving the venue, including some who have been sitting on the risers behind the podium where Hillary Clinton is supposed to speak. There are people who are just in shock. I've seen mouths open as folks here in the audience are watching the results come in, many of them with their arms crossed and a hand to their mouth. They are just stunned as they watch what is going on here. It's just been a complete reversal from what we saw a few hours ago. And what they are watching is various networks, as we're seeing these calls being made for different states. They've been monitoring, a lot of them, their iPhones, seeing certainly the projections for what is going to happen. And they are just stunned at the idea that they were completely sure they were coming to this event for what they thought would be even an early night to celebrate Hillary Clinton becoming the first female president, and now they are confronting the reality that they could be walking out of here either not knowing, but perhaps expecting that Donald Trump is going to become president. I mean, you're seeing it here on these faces. They are just stunned. People who were talking and laughing before are standing there not talking to the folks that they came with.
Much anger and so much contempt for you, but know that even through all of it, I love you because you're a human being, because you deserve rights. I don't care if you don't think I do, but you do, I guess. So have fun with your vote. All the blood and all the injustice is in your hands.
unlikely that she's going to win the state of Arizona.
Cokie Roberts, astonishing.
It is astonishing. I will say this about Arizona. They have voted to increase the minimum wage, and maybe some of the same people voting to increase the minimum wage are also voting for Hillary Clinton. So it could be surprising there, but it would be a surprise. It is... The sheriff, strong supporter of Donald Trump. And John McCain is one. Okay, John McCain is one right there. We are just moments away from midnight. Have to take another quick break. Crucial point in this race. All eyes on Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. We'll be right back.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
And which Republican candidate has the best chance of winning the general election?
Of the declared ones, right now, Donald Trump.
Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point at real Donald Trump. Well, at real Donald Trump, at least I will go down as a president.
Because a vision softly creeping.
You're awake, by the way. You're not having a terrible, terrible dream. Also, you're not dead and you haven't gone to hell. This is your life now. This is our election now. This is us. This is our country. It's real.
Has to be a joke. I do not believe this is happening. I'm literally about to fucking kill myself, and I'm not kidding. You better fucking fix this shit right now. I literally am gonna die. I need an ambulance. I can't believe
That in her lifetime, she deserves to be the first female president. And that's what makes me so sad. And President Obama, Mr. Obama, I want to say thank you for everything you've done in these past 8 years.
Oh, the tears of unfathomable sadness. Yummy, yummy, you guys.
Bing, 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 bong, bong, bing, 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 bong.
I'm triggered.
I'm counted in those all-important battleground states. We are going to stay here right till the end. So much drama here tonight. Could the biggest upset in presidential history be in the making? We'll be right back.
He already has North Carolina, Ohio, but if you give him Florida, where he's got a commanding lead, if you give him New Hampshire, where he is leading, if you look at now.
I remember like 8 years old, wanting pen pals and wanting to write. Mom was like, yeah.
This is a very unexpected turn, and now this crowd won't stop cheering for the man they came here to support. The night started out somber. It is anything but right now, George.
The United States of America just reaffirmed its commitment to being the greatest country in the history of human civilization, and it's wonderful. The best thing about it, of course, is that
All the illegals are going home.
Well, also that. Donald Trump!
What are you doing?
I am locked down to this car.
And why are you doing that?
Because I'm so bad at this. Do I have to do this?
Because you don't want them to move your car, right?
I'm just
you want to stop Trump?
Yeah, I want to stop Trump. I want to shut down his protest. He doesn't have a place in this state. He doesn't have a place in the U.S. We don't want that.
Where's the key? Can you get out?
No, I don't have one. It's gone.
I did it anyway, but I felt like maybe they were right. I don't know. Are we, like, am I the bad guy? I kept, so I don't know if you know this, but I had those doubts, right? And like, maybe we need to be more credible. Maybe we need to do this. Maybe we need to do that. And maybe that even did hold me back more than I should have been held back. I don't know. I'm being honest with you, right? And so, no, they were wrong. They were wrong. Whatever little I held back, I shouldn't have held it back. And we won't hold it back going forward. The era of politeness for the progressives is over.
Alex Jones will literally have meetings in the White House.
Yeah, the president will go on Alex Jones' show.
But let me tell you something, Donald Trump is not my president, and he never will be my president, because I will never bow to a racist, xenophobic dictator. This is an incredibly important moment in history. And if you've wondered, if I lived in Nazi Germany, would I be a Nazi? Or would I be in resistance against the Nazis? This is your time to figure out what kind of fucking person you are. If you support Donald Trump, you're a Nazi. Donald Trump is a fascist. And whatever incredibly unconstitutional things Donald Trump has up his sleeve are that much easier to pass. There are no checks and balances anymore, in case you don't understand this. We have a dictator in the White House. Donald Trump, you are not my president. You will never be my president, because I will never bow to a fascist dictator. Half of this country fucking hates your guts. This is the beginning. It is far from over. We've been letting people get away with being sexist, racist, pieces of shit. I'm done. Resist.
Are you freaking kidding me? You've got to be joking me. This is the equivalent of having the fucking Westboro Baptist Church as president. We might as well have elected the Westboro Baptist Church. It's disgusting what has been done. Trump does not care about people. He does not care about anybody. This is just seriously just to put his mark on the world. That's it. He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck about minorities, Latinos, blacks, Hispanics, Asians, LGBTQ people, Jewish people. Doesn't fucking care. I can't believe you people. What is he going to do to make America rich? Is he going to give you a bunch of money? Is he going to invest in you? Are you going to be on The Apprentice and invest in him? Is that it? I don't know why fucking this got happened. I was dumb to think Clinton had a chance to win. But it's dumber that fucking people elected fucking Trump. I considered even leaving this country, seriously, going to grad school in some other country. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I don't know. I was renewing Google every 30 seconds, keeping an eye on it, and when I saw Trump was ahead, I didn't even stay up to get the official decree. I just went to bed early because I didn't want to listen to Barrett. When I woke up, I was depressed as fuck, and I'm still am.
Trump is president. It's not good for America. You know how he is. You know what he'll do. You know how racist and just everyone was saying that racism is not here, racism died out, and you hear now, like, see the video from the Breakfast Club. I'm sorry, I can't talk. I'm running. I really had woke up 3 o'clock this morning, found out Trump was president. Haven't been to sleep since, so I'm mad tired. But I had to make some stuff clear. Had to make some, not some clear, just put my opinion out there. I really don't know what to say. I'm beyond baffled. Like I don't know why would you vote for a racist dude, sexist dude, hypocritical, fucking whatever, man. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
I just want to say that if you support Donald Trump, if you voted for Donald Trump, if you could not vote, but if you could have, you would have voted for Donald Trump, fuck you. I am not shocked that this man, this racist, sexist man, xenophobic man, is our president. I'm not shocked. America was never great. It wasn't great when white people killed off the Native Americans. It wasn't great when white people enslaved an entire race. It wasn't great when white people began to hang black people, burn black people alive, burn our houses down. It wasn't great when only white women were given the right to vote. America has never been great.
After weeks of taunting Trump supporters over Trump's suggestion that he might not immediately accept the election result, Hillary voters came together, preached a message of unity, and graciously accepted Donald Trump's victory. Oh no, they actually rioted, attacked people in the street, and threatened to kill Donald Trump and his supporters.
He refused to say that he would respect the results of this election. Now, make no mistake, by doing that, he is threatening our democracy. And the peaceful transition of power is one of the things that sets us apart. It's how we hold our country together, no matter who's in charge.
All year, they preached the mantra, love trumps hate. All year, they denounced us as being hateful and intolerant. And what's the first thing they do after the election? Engage in rampant hateful intolerance. This tolerant liberal called for people to die to prevent Trump from taking office.
We can't just do rallies. We have to fight back. There will be casualties on both sides. There will be, because people have to die to make a change in this world.
Look at this idiot. Wall Street is the enemy, not Muslims or immigrants. You just voted for someone whose entire campaign was funded by Wall Street, you utter fucking moron. Look at this clown. I am gay, I am in love, I am terrified. Yeah, you didn't seem to be too terrified by 20% of Hillary's campaign being funded by a country that still executes gay people. Seriously, has anyone told you people that you can't change the result of a democratic election by throwing a temper tantrum? The Electoral College isn't going to look at you burning a Donald Trump effigy and think, oh well, a bunch of butthurt losers had a hissy fit. So I guess we better just invalidate the entire election and just have everyone vote again until Hillary wins. You're literally protesting against free democratic elections. Your behaviour is why Trump won in the first place. Do you understand that yet? Americans saw you attacking innocent people, burning shit down and rioting all year, and they responded by voting against what you represent. Also, you're carrying Mexican flags while chanting Trump is not my president. You know that this is America, right? Do you know what country you're actually in? SJWs are trying to pressure the Electoral College to disregard the vote altogether, because blocking the outcome of legitimate free elections because you don't like the result is so progressive. It's not what dictators in third world countries do at all. Now, Katy Perry thinks that she's Che Guevara. Rise up, the revolution is coming. Seriously, fuck off to North Korea. You'd like it there. You won't have to worry about elections because your candidate wins every time. Look at the unhinged insanity that motivates these people.
I remember yesterday when I was naive and I thought the September 11 attacks were the worst thing that could happen to America.
Yeah, that's right. 9/11, a terrorist attack that killed thousands of people, that led to multiple wars, that killed hundreds of thousands more people, and ruined the Middle East. Donald Trump is worse than that.
Yay, let's all get ready for World War II.
Hey, dipshit. World War II already happened.
I have friends that are literally scared for their lives. Personally, I don't think a president should have that kind of mass effect on people.
They're probably scared because for the last year, you've been regurgitating hysterical media propaganda about how Donald Trump is literally Hitler. It's your own fault that they're scared of a democratically elected president. And it's the media to blame for inciting these anti-Trump riots. They're even paying people to play the role of anti-Trump agitators. If Trump supporters had reacted to a Hillary victory like this, the media would be denouncing them right now as dangerous, democracy-hating bigots. The media is also reporting on all this as if it's some kind of spontaneous grassroots uprising. Wrong again. It's being coordinated and paid for by billionaire globalist scumbag George Soros and MoveOn.org. In Austin, the protesters were even loaded onto special buses and transported to the scene of the demonstrations. Why is the political elite encouraging and funding all this? Because, like many of the protesters, they have complete contempt for democracy. They shudder at the very concept of ordinary people having a say in the future of their own country. Well, the people have had their say, and it's a big fuck you.
They're literally walking up and down the street, breaking every window they see. Unbelievable. There goes another one. There goes another one. There he goes again.
Hey, you gotta
These mass protesters are destroying anything they see.
Great time to enjoy.
This is the Portland Police Bureau. You must leave the area near Southwest Yamhill and Southwest 5th Avenue. Travel east on Southwest Yamhill. Move now! Move now! East on Southwest Yamhill. North on Southwest Everett. Failure to comply will result in arrest, the use of riot control agents, and impact weapons.
Lily, your sign tonight says...
Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter. If we don't fight, who's going to fight for us? People had to die for freedom where we're at today. We can't just do rallies. We have to fight back. There will be casualties on both sides. There will be, because people have to die to make a change in this world. But Trump, enough with your racism. Stop splitting families. Don't split my family.
And you're fearful that you're going to lose friends and relatives to deport?
Yeah, a lot. Friends, family, even all races. Not just my Hispanic culture, but the rest of the races. Don't take away our rights. You know, impeach Donald Trump. That's what he needs to get, is impeached.
All right, Paul.
Well, as you can hear,
Paul,
Don,
thank you
that's
very
some
much.
of the sentiments here.
Yeah, thank you, Paul.
Mexican flag.
Now, let me ask you, what would happen if an American went to Mexico and protested with an American flag? What would happen to them?
Some crazy shit.
I have so much hatred for Donald Trump. So much hatred for Donald Trump. You don't want to kill him, man. Fuck Donald Trump. I don't want to kill him, but I mean, I'll catch his face. I mean, gotta knock a nigga out real quick.
Essentially encouraging illegal immigrants to vote. Listen to his shocking response to a question from actress Gina Rodriguez.
Many of the millennials, dreamers, undocumented citizens, and I call them citizens because they contribute to this country, are fearful of voting. So if I vote, will immigration know where I live? Will they come for my family and deport us?
Not true. The sanctity of the vote is strictly confidential.
Sanctity of the vote, but no sanctity for the requirements to vote, namely citizenship. And that's the President of the United States talking and apparently trying to encourage such votes by illegal immigrants.
Student support of Donald Trump may have made her a target.
What
ABC 7 News reporter Katie Marzullo spoke with the Woodside High School student attacked in that video and her mother, Katie.
Dan Ama, the student, and her parents tell me they are shocked that something like this could happen. She says all of her friends were posting their feelings and their thoughts on election night, but it looks like her post got her beat up. Cell phone video captures the moment a female student attacks sophomore Jade Armenio.
This girl comes up to me and she said, "Do you hate Mexicans?" And I was like, "No." And she said, "You support Trump, you hate Mexicans."
Jade says the girl hit her, threw her to the ground, and pulled out her earrings and her hair. She was left with a bloody nose and scratches and bruises. Before the results came in on election night, Jade had posted on Instagram that she hoped Trump would win.
I don't think I could name one person on any of my accounts, social media accounts, who didn't say their opinion last night.
Jade's parents say they're mortified about what happened.
My husband and I don't put our political views or stuff like that on social media, but the kids still do it, and that's their life. And, you know, we try to tell them, don't do that. But even if she does, she should never, ever be hit like that.
The principal of Woodside High School issued a statement that reads in part, "The recorded incident was investigated in conjunction with law enforcement, and appropriate disciplinary action has been taken." Jade says she's also now the target of social media hate mail, but she's taking it in stride.
In high school, if you really care about what every single person thinks, you're going to get torn apart.
Jade's parents say they're keeping her out of school until they know she'll be safe. In Woodside, Katie Marzullo, ABC 7 News.
So did she not say that? No. When did I say that? You did not say that. No. When? On Instagram? No.
You most definitely did.
Oh, I most definitely did. Oh. Can somebody please tell me that she did? She did.
She did.
Everybody said that I like
Malia, handle those, cuz. Come on, man.
I gotta do my homework, Malia. Make it quick. I really want to. You really want to what? You really want to what? Oh, she yelling. She's raising her voice. I know. Malia, pick up your gun. Malia, no. What the fuck? Oh, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. Get off of her. Let go of her.
A student at Stafford Elementary is recovering tonight after being beaten by several of his classmates.
He says it was during a mock election when the class was asked who voted for Donald Trump. Fox 26's Scarlett Fakar spoke with that child and his family. She joins us now from the newsroom. Scarlett.
Jonathan and Melinda, it's a Fox 26 exclusive interview with the 11-year-old boy involved and his family. They tell us they're afraid to let him go back to school.
This is America. Everybody has the right to their own opinion, and they shouldn't be beat up for it.
But just a day after Donald Trump was elected president, that's exactly what happened to an 11-year-old boy at Stafford Elementary School.
These boys decided to ask the classroom who voted for Donald Trump, because a few weeks ago they made a mock election for the president. And then I said I voted for, I did, and then they came over here and started and jerked me out of my seat, and then they started before I could get up, they started kicking me and punching me.
He tells us the classroom did have a teacher present, but it felt like he was on the ground forever.
Why did it take so long for it to be stopped?
Mary and Buddy Lemon say they received a call from the principal immediately after the incident.
We went and made statements to the police officers, and then I took him to the emergency rooms.
Lemon says her son has deep bruises throughout his body.
Are you afraid to go back to class?
Yes, ma'am.
After speaking with Stafford MSD, they tell us in a statement the students allegedly involved in the altercation have been suspended pending an investigation.
I know we've been very opinionated on this election, but one thing I've never said anything to the point where I would incite violence. My son doesn't have a mean bone in his body.
They say they hope their story encourages parents to speak to their children on how to be compassionate and accepting towards those that believe differently.
That's what America's about. That's what the election process is about. We had to respect the last election results, and I feel like everybody needs to respect this election's results.
For the full statement from Stafford MSD, you can go to fox26houston.com. We'll keep you updated on the pending investigation on the students who were involved. In the newsroom, Scarlett Fakar, Fox 26 News.
But do you know why people would be like upset about today?
That's fine. You can be upset if you want.
Minor. Okay. Run my ID.
So
why are you protesting? Because I think it's I think Trump is a terrible person, and I think that he shouldn't be president. And I think that there's a lot of extra.
You shouldn't go disturb the people studying.
I actually wasn't. If I was known.
It's all right. It's all right to protest.
No,
go out on the diag and protest.
This is a walkway.
Yep, go out on the diag and protest.
This is actually a very prominent walkway for the entire
they said that,
campus.
People was in there protesting.
The entire
disturbing
campus.
The people doing their stuff, studying.
I was not in the library. I was just coming from my job.
Okay.
So,
proceed to jump in front of my vehicle.
Jump in front of your vehicle? Are you kidding me? You're driving down a walkway in the middle of Central Campus.
You can talk to me and you can address me appropriately. You don't need to curse at me. You don't need to swear
and
at me.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It does.
Could you go over there?
Alex wants to know if you have a door on your house.
Do I have a door on my house? Of course I do. I have many doors on my house.
All right. Do you have a fence in your yard?
I do not have a fence.
She doesn't have a fence, but she has a door.
Yes, I do.
Right.
Countries have to have
doors.
doors.
Keeps out uninvited people, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And I have a large dog as well.
Oh, a large dog.
Yes,
Okay.
she does agree.
So that's essentially what a border is.
Right, I understand that.
Right.
How many of the people come over here are actually violent and causing harm?
I would say not the majority of them, but the ones that are, we need to deport.
I believe in borders, but I do not believe in a wall.
Talk to P-Brain.
You build a 10-foot wall, they're going to be selling 11-foot ladders.
We don't have a right to defend our borders. You lock your doors at night? Well, why do you do that? You should open your doors at night.
Because I
would
live
come
in
in
the
and
city.
sleep on your. I don't care. I would like to come into your house and sleep on your couch.
Sir, what
I would
I'm
like to
trying
get
to
some
say.
food out of your fridge. Can you please leave your door open at night?
Absolutely.
You will?
Absolutely.
Will you give me your address so
Just
I can get some
because-
food?
just
I might be
because you're
hungry.
voting for Trump
I am
does not mean
unemployed. I am an
that I will
unemployed
not
veteran.
harm you.
I would love some free food.
Absolutely.
I would love a place to sleep tonight.
What would you like? I'll
Just
look
give me
up
your
the
address.
service.
Right.
I'm not giving you my address, sir.
Why not?
Because I
But
don't
you can lock
trust
your
you. I
doors.
don't know you.
Well, then
I'm saying that Donald Trump stands for hate.
Okay, that's what you say, but can you prove it with facts? No?
Look at the news headlines.
How is Donald Trump racist? How is Donald Trump racist?
He wants to build a border. He said that.
For our border. For our border.
God! Ah!
Hey, for real, we can be friends. Like, we don't have to hate each other.
I feel very worried. I don't know if I could be friends with someone who is voting for Donald Trump.
But I don't understand, it's just politics.
He called me, he said, I think we can
He's trying to be friendly.
No,
He's trying to be
so
friendly.
stupid.
Why are you saying that? Why are you saying I'm stupid?
He was being trashed.
Hey, he's trying to be
How is
friendly.
it not?
No.
So stupid.
Wait, how is that stupid?
It's not just politics. It's uneducated. I guess it's not your fault.
I'm uneducated?
Yeah.
Well, you were making fun of me for being educated earlier.
Listen. I was making fun of you for being uneducated to support Donald Trump. Nobody with a brain would support Donald Trump. So it's not just politics. It's like the direction that you're sending our society in.
Well, how?
And it's because to promote the leader of the great world, to vote for the leader of the great world to be someone who's homophobic, sexist, simply stupid, volatile, on edge, like just unintelligent. Okay, pause.
I just don't know what you're talking about.
Homophobic. Have you watched the debates?
Yes.
The guy is fucking insane. He's honestly, I hate this word, but he's fucking retarded. He's a little bit mentally like off. He's like,
Wait. Hold on. If he's retarded, how did he make billions of dollars?
Because he started out with $1 million and he ripped people off. He ripped off. Did you know that?
To $1 billion?
What? Yes.
And the law hasn't done anything?
No, he's manipulated the law in a lot of ways. Did you not hear him in the debate say, no, I didn't pay federal taxes because I'm smart?
Well, yeah, most billionaires don't pay federal taxes, that's true.
That's not true. That's where you gotta go do some research. Truly. Because they're like, Mark Cuban, there's a ton of billionaires.
Mark Cuban?
There are a ton of billionaires who pay all of their taxes and give their tax returns. They show their tax returns to show that they pay all the taxes that are due to people who are less fortunate than them, people who weren't born into circumstances like them.
That's not how taxes work.
No, that is how taxes work.
No, that's how socialism works.
Listen. Think about the roads you drive on every day. Who's gonna pay for the road?
They suck.
Who would pay for those if there weren't taxes? Do you drive to work?
Well, now hold on. Have you looked at the budget?
Who would pay for the fucking roads? You're a fucking
Wait a second. Hold on. Have you looked at the budget?
I can't.
Most of, like, 75% of our spending goes to military.
Or military. They go for wars. You probably fucking support.
No, wait. Donald Trump didn't support the Iraqi war.
Why are you voting for him?
Well, because I think Washington has become corrupt over the last decades, and Donald Trump is the first non-politician. Because politicians like Hillary Clinton have had pay-for-play programs and let Americans die overseas to create scares of terrorism, okay?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I am right. And I have done my research, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, I have.
You just said that most billionaires don't
Do you realize, let me ask you a question, do you realize that the same people that fund ISIS fund Hillary Clinton?
You're a dumb piece of fucking shit.
No. You can look this up. This is public information, man. This is public information. I'm brainwashed. Let me hear your facts and evidence.
Oh my God.
Let me hear your facts and evidence. I'm brainwashed with facts and evidence. Let me hear yours.
Have you watched this?
How is Donald Trump racist? How is Donald Trump racist?
Hold on a second. Did you guys hear what she just said?
Have you watched this?
How is Donald Trump racist?
Let's take a look back and watch her debate and see if we can learn something.
How is Donald Trump racist?
I hate this word, but he's fucking retarded.
You looked at the budget?
Who would pay for the fucking roads? You're a fucking
Wait a second, hold on, it goes to military. Do you realize that the same people that fund ISIS fund Hillary Clinton?
You're a dumb piece of fucking shit.
No. You can look this up. This is public information, man.
He wants to build it. It's rewarded. He said that. It's
For our border. For our border.
Oh my God! Ah! You are such a piece of shit.
I'm just trying to have a debate.
Oh my God! Oh my God! You are literally the detriment of America.
White privilege is a myth.
It's a myth. Every race is susceptible to being rich or poor. It's a myth.
That's a myth. So there's been white people that have not.
You're an American student, feminist, human against Trump.
I am.
What's your biggest problem with him?
Mostly everything. It's pretty hard to pinpoint it, but
I've noticed that's an issue with these people. Can you just give me one little maybe sentence he said that you disagree with, or one policy he's going to enact? So far your biggest beefs are that he described his daughter as attractive, and that his penis came up in a debate that you haven't seen.
not my biggest beefs, no.
Well, that's all we got. Well, you got a big one?
Yeah, he's racist, he's sexist. I haven't heard really any firm policy.
Well, we just keep hearing these terms, racist. What's a racist thing he said?
That he insinuating that Mexico is sending their rapists?
They are. 80% of the young girls who cross the border get raped. I thought you feminists hate rape.
I do.
So do you think 80% is a pretty bad stat for women getting raped? 80% of the women crossing the border get raped.
By Americans?
No, by illegals.
Okay. Thanks.
I don't thank me. I didn't rape anybody.
I didn't say you did, but you're coming and you're spinning everything that
I'm just trying to tell you basic information.
80%
80% of young women who cross the border get raped.
by illegals?
Yes, by coyotes and illegals. Why wouldn't you have
Coyotes, goodbye.
Bears.
So are you a Hillary Clinton supporter then?
Obviously, yeah.
Okay, well what brought you here is because you wanted to see her get destroyed by Donald Trump tonight?
It's quite the opposite, actually. He's bullying her. He's terrible.
He's bullying her tonight, you think? Yeah. Oh, definitely not. She's been telling a lot of lies and he hasn't even hit her hard.
How does it feel to be an Uncle Tom?
How does it feel to be an Uncle Tom? Don't get me started, buddy. You don't want to mess with me on that. Have you even read?
You're a race trainer.
Are you serious? Have you even read Harriet Beecher Stowe? Have you even read the book? He probably doesn't know who Uncle Tom even is. Wow.
You tell your kids, don't be a bully. You tell your kids, don't be a bigot. You tell your kids, do your homework and be prepared. And then you have this outcome, and you have people putting children to bed tonight, and they're afraid of breakfast. They're afraid of, how do I explain this to my children? I have Muslim friends who are texting me tonight saying, should I leave the country? I have families of immigrants that are terrified tonight. This was many things. This was a rebellion against the elites. True, it was a complete reinvention of politics and polls, it's true. But it was also something else. We've talked about race. I mean, we've talked about everything but race tonight. We've talked about income. We've talked about class. We've talked about region. We haven't talked about race. This was a white lash. This was a white lash against a changing country. It was a white lash against a black president in part. And that's the part where the pain comes. And Donald Trump has a responsibility tonight to come out and reassure people that he is going to be the president of all the people who he insulted and offended and brushed aside. Yeah, when you say, you want to take your country back, you got a lot of people who feel that we're not represented well either. But we don't want to feel that someone has been elected by throwing away some of us to appeal more deeply to others.
I'm wishing Donald Trump luck, and I'm going to give him a chance.
Listen, when I said, and I stand by it, I said that race was a part, and there was a part, that alt-right part, that was a part of a white lash. And if you listen to the whole quote, you would agree with what I said. So I don't take that back.
I did listen to it, and at the end you said, what do I tell the kids? What I would tell your kids, I'm a black man in America who went to Yale, who's written books, who served a president, now has
I'm a ninth-generation American, ma'am, and I'm the first one in my family born with all my rights. I'm a ninth-generation American. And so we have not escaped because because I went to Yale.
You should
all
not
the
be a
problems of this
racial
country.
polemicist.
And I'm not,
you should be a racial
you should be ashamed of
reconciler.
yourself to say that to me to my face. I've spent more time
Would
in
I
this
say it
country.
behind your back would be better?
Listen, hold on a second. I spent more time than you have trying to be a racial reconciler in this country.
Really? How do you know that? Do you know anything about me?
Well, you apparently don't know anything about me. And
Yes, I do know. Your daddy, your grandparents were teachers. Your grandfather was a bishop.
George, this is the problem that we have right now. It is in fact the case that there was a populist revolt in this country, both Sanders and Trump, but one of them was marbled through with this alt-right stuff. If someone like myself, who is married to a white woman, who has spent my entire life building bridges, can't point out the alt-right white lash reaction without being accused of being a racial polemicist, we're going to have a big problem.
And I would say, how do you know sense of decency to say that to a man who's been a healer throughout a horrific, brutal campaign? He has spoken sanity to power. And to those who my deepest apologies. You don't know anything about me. You don't know anything about my healing. And I would say there are ways to get to reconciliation different from focusing on the toxic elements, as you did on election night.
You guys talk about both. You don't talk about both.
You guys will talk about it outside.
I keep saying it over and over again, and people were like, oh, you're on this soapbox, this feminism soapbox. As a Latina woman, I tell you, I've heard it over and over again in my family. There's no way a woman can run the country. Really? We're in a household where we are raising a large percentage of the country as single mothers. We have to budget money that we don't have. We have raised people that go get post-secondary educations. How is it that we cannot run a country? And to the motherfuckers on Twitter fucking with me right now, I just want you to know, I don't give a fuck. I'm ready for the revolution. You got me fucked up. I'm not that bitch. I'm not scared of you.
You just made their day.
Muslim parents that are afraid right now aren't afraid because these kids with these signs. They're afraid because he said over and over again that he wanted to ban people of their faith. That lands like a bomb in the lap.
Coming into the country.
Hold on a second. You want to explain to me why people who are scared shouldn't be afraid, and you want.
But for you to say internment camps,
hey, I didn't say internment camps. People are afraid of that.
But you should correct that. You should correct that fear. That's not true. Donald Trump has never proposed internment camps. You have to correct that fear.
You guys won, and you need to back off. You need to have a little bit of empathy and understanding for people who are afraid, because your candidate has been one of the most explosively provocative candidates in the history of our country. And there's a price to be paid for that. And hold on a second.
Let him finish.
I am not finished. I'm not going to be talked over tonight. I'm not. You have people who are terrified. And you have to take some responsibility for it. I am not spreading the terror. I am trying to damp it down. Let me finish my point. Listen. You have people, Latino families, who say, this guy has said he's going to deport millions of people. They don't know, should they sell their homes? They are terrified. That is a real fear. You have Muslims who have heard him say nothing good about the Muslim community the entire campaign. That's a real fear. And so they've heard him say, maybe he said it, but that's not what broke through. And so what we have to be able to do now, if you want unity, and I want unity, and I'm working harder for unity than anybody on this stage, I guarantee you. If you want unity, we have to hear the pain first before you tell people they're wrong to hurt.
Look at that guy over there. Wow. Bring him up. What's your name?
Name.
Now, he's supposed to look like Donald Trump, but he's actually much too good looking. You are really handsome. Are you having a good time tonight?
Night.
Where's your daddy? And your mommy, right? Do you want to go back? Do you want to go back to them, or do you want to stay with Donald Trump?
Trump.
Hold up. Hey, hold up.
up. Hey, hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Everybody sit down and be quiet for a second.
Foreign policy, we talked about domestic policy, and as I said last night, my number one priority in the coming 2 months is to try to facilitate a transition that ensures our president-elect is successful. I have been very encouraged by the, I think, interest in President-elect Trump's wanting to work with my team around many of the issues that this great country faces. Please.
Well, thank you very much, President Obama. I very much look forward to dealing with the president in the future. So, Mr. President, it was a great honor being with you, and I look forward to being with you many, many more times in the future. Thank you, sir.
This is the moment we choose hope. 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 Choose hope.
If he wins New Hampshire, you get 4 out of New Hampshire. He'd be sitting there at 260. And then again, you take a look at what's left on this map, and you would need, you would need Wisconsin. Wisconsin would put him over. Wisconsin would put him at 270.
He already has Wisconsin.
Jeez.
Look, do you hear that? He said it twice.
The math is getting easier to do. Wisconsin would put him over. Wisconsin would put him at 270 at that point. Jeez.
Fuck you, America. This is, you don't like anyone. You're just a fucking white racist country. This is who you are. And this is a good example of real America. I tell you something. You go to your co-workers tomorrow. Fuck you. You're just all fucking racist. You're not white. You don't have blue eyes. You don't have blonde hair. You should not be in America. This is what it is. This is the real America. Wake up, guys, and smell the coffee. I'm not gonna shut up. Why would I shut up for? Because your guy is winning? This is what it is? And tell me, why is he winning? Hey man, we're with you, man. Why is he winning today? Tell me. Give me an explanation. Tell me why. If you want me to shut up, tell me an answer to my question. Why did Trump win today? It's not us. Why?
What does fighting solve?
Everything.
It solves nothing. It solves absolutely nothing.
Do you know how privileged you are to come to an event and insult the people at the event and not get the shit kicked out of you?
Okay.
You're surrounded by police protecting you.
If we were insulting people, we would have to go inside.
We're trying to preach love and togetherness and unity, and our tolerance doesn't need to reach over intolerance. That's all we're saying.
These are all platitudes that don't mean anything. You're here. You think those people are anti-love?
Yes. Yes. When they look at their neighbor that's Muslim or look at their neighbor that's Mexican, they hate them. They're fearful of them.
No, they're saying a disproportionate number of illegal aliens commit rape. 80% of the women crossing the border get raped. And when it comes to Islam, a good 1 in 4 thinks suicide bombing is sometimes or often justified.
Why doesn't the right love ISIS? ISIS kills Muslims. Why doesn't the right love ISIS?
Yeah, that's a point against you.
No, that's a
if
point
the
against
right hates Muslims,
if the right hates Muslims and ISIS kills Muslims, you hate Muslims, so you love ISIS.
No, you're the one assuming that we hate Muslims.
Are you kidding me?
He's preaching it then. That he hates Muslims.
No, he's not.
Registry? Wait. If he wants a registry for any Muslim, what? Fuck you. Fucking fascist piece of shit.
for Obama.
So?
Twice.
To the people that are actually, what?
He's on a computer. He's not on a TV.
I don't fucking care. People like you are a fucking cancer to society.
You know what? Wouldn't it be great if you could just kill all the Trump supporters? Would you like to do that?
Hug you.
Would you like to do that?
No, I want to fix them. I want to change their views.
And the first thing you do is tell them what? That Muslims are good people?
That everyone is a human being and they should be respected.
But isn't it possible that when you look at a group, some might have a disproportionate number that do a thing? Like, for example,
the rich people.
Okay, so it's okay to make stereotypes about rich people, but not Muslims.
Why? Because it's greed that made them rich. It's something that they actually stand for, and it's just straight greed. That makes them rich.
What about if you help sequence the genome and you make $100 million in biotech? Is that greed?
If you're not investing it into like charity, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so if you make money curing cancer and you don't put the money immediately back into charity,
making a profit off of it, you're a capitalist scumbag.
You're a capitalist scumbag if you're curing cancer.
No, because you're doing it for a fucking profit.
Do you see the people posting the pictures of abroad? These are the memes that came from Reddit to make Trump our emperor god. When you're posting from your heart, joining as often as you can. It is a chance to make America great again.
Dearborn is what the world would look like if people learned how to get along.
I think Islam hates us.
I don't want to talk to him. Stay away from Detroit.
If Donald Trump becomes president, it will be catastrophic for the Muslim community.
My parents have actually brainstormed where we might go.
If Donald Trump becomes president, then I have a message for Trudeau in Canada. You're going to get an influx of Muslims coming your way.
There's a early 2014 email from Hillary Clinton, so not so long after she left Secretary of State, to her campaign manager, John Podesta. That email, it states that ISIS, is funded by Saudi Arabia and Qatar, the governments of Saudi Arabia and Qatar. Now, I think this is the most significant email in the whole collection. And perhaps because Saudi and Qatari money is spread all over the place, including into many media institutions. All serious analysts know, even the US government has mentioned or agreed with that some Saudi figures have been supporting ISIS, funding ISIS. But the dodge has always been that's it's just some rogue princes using their cut of the oil money to do whatever they like, but actually the government disapproves. But that email says that no, it is the governments of Saudi and the government and Qatar that have been funding ISIS.
The Saudis, the Qataris, the Moroccans, the Bahrainis, particularly the Saudis and the Qataris, are giving all this money to the Clinton Foundation, while Hillary Clinton is Secretary of State and the State Department is approving massive arms sales, particularly to Saudi Arabia.
Under Hillary Clinton, and our Clinton emails reveal significant discussion about it, the largest ever arms deal in the world was made with Saudi Arabia, more than $80 billion. In fact, during her tenure as Secretary of State, total arms exports from the United States, in terms of their dollar value, doubled.
And of course, the consequence of that is that this notorious terrorist jihadist group called ISIL or ISIS is created largely with money from the very people who are giving money to the Clinton Foundation.
Yes.
That's extraordinary.
I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message.
Islam is not our adversary. Muslims are peaceful and tolerant people and have nothing whatsoever to do with terrorism.
You know, look, we're facing the worst refugee crisis since the end of World War II, and I think the United States has to do more, and I would like to see us move from what is a good start with 10,000 to 65,000.
You can't say that Islam is a religion of peace, because Islam, it does not mean peace. Islam is means it's Islam's submission. So the Muslim is the one who submits. You know, there's a place for violence in Islam. There's a place for jihad in Islam.
Islam is not our adversary. Muslims are peaceful and tolerant people and have nothing whatsoever to do with terrorism.
I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message.
But for me, this election is first and foremost about my children and about the country, the world, and the future that I want for them and their generation to grow up in.
Because their grandma's going to jail if she loses.
I want to share a few thoughts about what I think is at stake in this election. And and why I think we can't sit on the sidelines. And goodness gracious, they can talk about whatever they want to talk about.
I wouldn't go to France. I wouldn't go to France. Because France is no longer France. France is no longer France. I wouldn't go to France. Because France is no longer France. France is no longer France. I wouldn't go to France. Because France is no longer France. France is no longer France. I wouldn't go to France. Because France is no longer France. France is no longer France.
اللهم شتت على النساء ويتم اطفالهم اللهم انصر الاسلام في كل مكان.
I am the law and order candidate.
I got more drive than Gosling. I'm like Corleone when I'm mobbing. Let the beat drop in. I'm Floyd Mayweather if I'm boxing. I'm Los Angeles cause I'm dodging. Is it too shocking? A microphone rocking. A microphone rocky. I hear the tiger and y'all can't stop me. You're looking like a donkey. Waking up groggy. Your whole flow is soggy. I'm Mr. Miyagi. I'ma make the bottles pop, Donald Trump dog. And I'ma party till I drop, take my trunks off. And I'ma make the bottles pop, Donald Trump talk. And I'm a Donald Trump.
This is not republicanism as we have known it. The emerging racist ideology known as the alt-right.
You had an unusual email arrangement.
If they wanted to see them, they would certainly have been able to do so.
So you have a rogue email system set up before she took the oath of office.
You had 2 ambassadors that made several requests.
Benghazi was a spontaneous reaction as a consequence of a video.
That's for the people investigating it to try to figure out.
If we fall for a bunch of okey doke.
What, like with a cloth or something? These are racist ideas, race baiting ideas.
Oh no.
Anti-Muslim, anti-immigrant, anti-women.
That sucks.
A simple cartoon character can be as bad as a Confederate flag or a swastika.
That has thrust Pepe the Frog into the middle of a battle between the Clinton and Trump campaigns.
Pepe the Frog.
Ever hear of Pepe the Frog? Pepe? Pepe even smoked.
Popular character in internet memes.
I've never even heard of Pepe the Frog.
This notion that an election tolls the criminal justice system is laughable.
Now, having said all this, why aren't I 50 points ahead, you might ask?
Now, like the frog in the pot, water just keeps getting hotter.
I'm worried that this whole email thing is ultimately going to be her Achilles cankle.
What difference at this point does it make?
It's illegal.
Don't use this cartoon frog with a sinister intent.
It's different for the media, so everything you learn about this, you're learning from us.
Mommy says that if you don't have anything nice to say, then you shouldn't say anything at all. So Donald Trump needs to shut the fuck up. Needs to shut the fuck up. Needs to shut the fuck up.
Yo, listen up, Trump. We're sick of hearing your offensive words that are racist, sexist, homophobic,
and bullying bullshit.
So sit your ass down.
Have me call you out on it.
You call breastfeeding moms disgusting? Which is ignorant and rude as shit. It's a natural and loving act of the mother. Motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
And it's also rude and ignorant to put your little kid in an anti-Trump video.
And what kind of fucker attacks refugee families that are homeless and downtrodden?
The only reason why Donald Trump wants to get rid of Muslims is to get rid of people like you.
You said you hated gays like me, getting the equal right to marry my husband, who's the love of my life, hypocritically calling yourself a marriage traditionalist?
I don't know why, but this guy looks like he has a huge resemblance to the NAACP leader. That's just pretty hilarious.
Of crowds you've made people's disabilities something you ridicule and mock?
If we're making jokes about disabilities, do you brag about your money to make up for the small size of your cock?
Aw, a female reporter asks you a tough question you can't answer, and poor baby Donald gets mad. Oh, when your butt hurts, the best you can do is some sexist insult about her bleeding and being on the pad. You've insulted women as fat pigs, bimbos, and referred to us as bitches.
You pulled the sexist shit with me, and you might need some fucking stitches.
I'd like to see you lose, Grandma.
I've seen your fucking bigoted imitations making fun of how Chinese people speak. Oh, but I guess you have to appeal to idiot racists when your ideas are so fucking weak.
Dude, your penis is weak.
And seriously, dude, you fucking call Japanese people Japs? Say it to my face, fuckface.
I want to see if they're gonna try to bomb Pearl Harbor this time. Come at me, bro.
Saying that you only want, saying that you only want, saying that you only want. Short little Jews counting your money is anti-Semitic as fuck. What is the greedy Jew stereotype a surprise?
Coming from a Potts who's a bigoted fucking schmuck. What's fucking worse, calling black people thugs?
Or you're referring to us as, quote, lazy? When you tweeted a neo-Nazi's fake crime facts about blacks being killers?
It shows you're both racist and batshit KKK crazy.
Well, you just killed off the respect for the human race.
You've made fun of people at your rallies for being overweight. So mean to get a laugh?
Is there anything that comes out of your fat fucking mouth that isn't a fact, that isn't a fact, that isn't a fact? Saying rapists, murderers, and drug dealers are fucking synonyms for Mexican immigrants?
Goes over well with racist Republicans who love when you mirror their idiot ignorance.
I'd like to mirror your ignorance just to see how other people like it.
Your fucking busted ass, ratchet, or ratting ass, cray hair.
Oops, our bad.
Did we just go there? Get involved with the hashtag #TuckFront movement and get a shirt.
Burn, baby, burn! Burn, baby, burn!
Fuck colonialism! Fuck colonialism! Fuck genocide! Fuck slavery! That's what it stands for! Your ancestors were enslaved and that's what that stands for! Your ancestors were enslaved and that's what that stands for! What did you say?
What, do you want to bring up ISIS? ISIS had nothing to do with Islam. ISIS has everything to do with the U.S. imperialism. Who created ISIS?
Motherfucker! You look like an Uncle Tom, motherfucker! Your ancestors
We've just elected a man so stupid. A man who is pandering to people who deny science and are poised to pull us out of climate change talks when we are spiraling into perhaps extinction. That is chilling. Let's face it, most Americans are uneducated.
How are you feeling about the extinction of white men?
Well, white men are a problem. Straight white men are a big problem. That's for sure. But I actually feel pretty good about it. I think straight white guys have been screwing things up for long enough. High time for straight white males to step back and let some other people do it.
That's my dad.
Let us dive into the facts. This is the United States foreign-born population in millions from 1850 to 2065. Yes, that's right. We've opened a tunnel of time mathematically up into the future. And as you can see, relatively low. This is the big 19th century immigration thing when there was no welfare state. And there was very little public spending, and people came for the freedoms rather than for the free stuff. You come for the freedom, you add value. You come for the free stuff, you subtract value. It's a basic equation. Now, from the 1930s, late 1920s to the 1960s, America put a hold on immigration to give people time to assimilate, to give people time to absorb. You know, you can't have that Roman feast where you just keep eating until your belly explodes. You need time to sort of digest. And there was a diminishment in immigration, as you can see. And this was, in the post-war period, an extraordinarily prosperous time for America, and in particular, a prosperous time, increasingly prosperous time for blacks in America, because endless waves of third world migrants weren't pulling down their wages. So 1960, you see there's a fundamental change. And anybody who's not aware of this change doesn't understand what this election is all about. Here we see the large increase, massive increase in third world immigration into America. And this is fundamentally changing the voting patterns. It is fundamentally changing the culture. It is fundamentally changing the size and power and scope of the government. It's fundamentally changing the number of people dependent on the state, and people who are dependent on the state are almost never going to vote to diminish the state and to reduce taxes, right? If you're on the receiving end of taxes, you want more people to pay taxes. If you're on the paying end of taxes, you want lower taxes, and this is the battle. It's not ideological. It is based on needs and dependence and fear and control. Again, when you get these disparate groups in society, democracy is no longer about ideas, but about theft and defense. So here we can see, as of 2015, 44.9 million foreign-born Americans. Now, we all understand that if a European-descended person has kids in America, then they're raised in the culture, they speak English, they absorb through the culture, through the educational system, you know, the small government ideology that America has always represented. Whereas if they come in from, say, Somalia, they don't have that history. I mean, they simply don't. Any more than if you go to Somalia, you'll really understand how all of their tribal systems work. I mean, you just won't. It will be foreign and strange to you, and you will gravitate back towards that, which you know. It's inevitable. It's natural. But looking forward, 2065, according to current projections, 78.2 million foreign-born Americans. That is extraordinary. And the funny thing is, too, right, so non-Hispanic whites, you know, the people who kind of built the modern American country brick by brick, non-Hispanic whites projected to become less than half of the U.S. population by 2055. Right, that's a mere 90 years after the immigration was swung. You go from a vast majority to a minority. That is an enormous and fundamental and foundational change in America. And for people to resist it is perfectly understandable and perfectly natural. And we would not criticize any other group in the world for resisting that kind of overrunning of foreign cultures and foreign ideas. Of course, right? I mean, if there was some country out there where it was like 90% one ethnicity, non-white, and then white people just started moving there and overwhelming the system and voting to change the fundamental system towards their own preferences, we would view that as a kind of invasion or a kind of imperialism or a kind of colonization, and we would not object to people saying, whoa, 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 we had this country for hundreds of years. Now all you people are coming in and changing it for your own preferences against our own preferences and our own desires. And people would say, well, yeah, you have the right to do that. You see, it's white people. And in the modern world, white people have no rights. No, I mean, you can't. You can say anything you want, do anything you want to white people because, I don't know, privilege. Still waiting for that card in the mail. Maybe it got lost. Maybe it went to some other country. Anyway, so by 2065, America will be thoroughly balkanized. No racial or ethnic group is a majority of the population. Hispanics see their population rise from 18% today to 24% by 2065. Asians go from 6% today to 14% in the future. Now, here's the thing. If all of these groups had generally the same ideas about limited government, the rule of law, Bill of Rights, separation of church and state, free market, all the things that generally constituted American exceptionalism for most of its history. If all these groups had the same ideas, then there would not be any particular statistical or ideological reason to oppose them. You may oppose them for other reasons, which may be closer to prejudice. So the question is, do the groups coming into America share the ideas of existing Americans? And given now that this process has been going on for decades after decade, right, of third world immigration coming into America, that has already changed the American landscape. The question is really not what is it, do they have different ideas than contemporary Americans? Now, the more important idea would be, or the more important argument would be, do they have different ideas from Americans in 1964, before the 1965 immigration bill or act? So we're going to dive into that so people can understand what is going on and the stakes that are going on and why Donald Trump is so popular and why the true Republicans who want smaller government are so invested in trying to figure out what's going on with immigration. Because if you don't have these facts, this makes no sense to you. And if it doesn't make any sense to you, you can't make sense of the ballot and what you might want to do. So let's move in. Immigration to the United States. These are the demographics, right? So I'm sorry if you're just listening to this. You might want to go to youtube.com/freedomainradio and watch this because it's a little bit on the visual side, even before I take my shirt off. So here we can see the orange is Europe, right? European immigration, overwhelmingly European immigration. Almost nothing from Africa, almost nothing from Asia, and little from Latin America. And the other is, of course, a grab bag of the remaining countries. So here you can see that obviously it cratered in the war period and so on, immigration as a whole. But as you can see, this is just up to 2000. European immigration has been steady or declining. And Latin America has exploded. Asia has exploded. Africa is growing enormously, and other is there as well. So this is a fundamental change in the country. And again, if people from Latin America, Asia, and Africa and other had the same ideas about government and society and family and law and leadership and taxation and benefits and so on, it would be a change in culture, but not a change in politics. But they don't. And this is the fundamental thing to understand, which we'll get to. Refugees and asylum seekers to the United States, demographics. So, of course, here you can see that it has gone up 500% from the post-war period to the 1991 to 2000 period. And it was almost all European, right? European refugees, of course, people fleeing the post-war hell that engulfed a lot of Europe. And very little from Asia, none from Asia and none from Latin America. A little bit from Asia in 1951 to 1960. And then here you can see from 1961 onward, massive increases in Asian refugees and asylum seekers, and from Latin America as well. And again, if these groups all had the same belief systems, it would be one thing, but they don't, relative to the domestic United States population. So let's look at the economic freedom by region. So this is from 2015 from the Economic Freedom Index, and remember, all of the sources will be below. Now, I'm going to tell you straight up so that I don't get the endless comments about this. Not all of these graphs are zero-based, right? Because when we're looking for differences, and when there's no country that has an economic freedom index of 0, I'm not going to bother. So for some of these are not zero-based. I'm aware of it. I'm looking at discrepancies, and I want to point them out. So North America has an economic freedom index of 74. Europe has an economic freedom index of 67. Now, the Middle East and North Africa have an economic freedom index of 62, South and Central America 60, Asia Pacific 59, Sub-Saharan Africa 55. Now remember, when you grow up in a particular environment, you absorb the values of that environment, and it's very, very hard to change those values later on. Plus, generationally, values are transmitted from parent to child, just as languages. And so it is not easy to break the cycle of the values that the original immigrants grew up with. And if you grew up in a place where you have significantly less economic freedom, which means more government dependence, larger government, more manipulation, more control, you don't have the same respect for and skills within the free market and within voluntary trade and transaction. You don't have as many entrepreneurial skills because the government is so big and people generally depend on handouts and so on. So this is very, very important. And it's one of the reasons why when you get waves of people coming in from less economically free countries, they generally tend to want the same big government, big spending, and all of that, and they don't have the same skills and ability to participate in the free market and compete with all of the people who have, of course, native English skills and local cultural references and contacts and all of that. So this is important. When you have different origins, you get different outcomes. So this is lawful permanent resident flow in the United States by country in 2014. Now let's look at these countries, and we'll be having a look at some of their characteristics in a moment. So Mexico, of course, the largest, 134,000 and change. India, just under 78,000. China, just over 76,000. The Philippines, just under 50,000. Cuba, just under 47,000. Dominican Republic, 44.5. Vietnam, 30 and change. South Korea, 20,000 and change. El Salvador, 19,000 and change. Iraq, 19,000 and a bit. So not a lot of Europe in this. And trying to figure out how all of these cultures and countries and religions and mindsets and languages can all work together is a very complicated thing. I mean, imagine you're planning a school. And this is the breakdown of your class. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? These countries in general are all speaking different languages, have different cultural references, different religions. How are you going to get everyone to work together? There's a massive inefficiency in bringing disparate languages and cultures together in a particular area. I mean, people say, well, diversity is our strength, but that's just the left saying, well, we welcome everyone who votes for the left, right? I mean, they don't care in particular about what it does to education for the native-born population. They don't care what it does for taxes. What they care about is these people are going to vote left. And that's the diversity that they're interested in, which means that they have a hostility to white Europeans who generally vote to the right. They have a hostility to white males who vote for the right, who vote for smaller government. And they have a supposed love for all of these disparate cultures that fragment the society as a whole, and diversity has been shown. Multiculturalism has been shown. You can look up the Putman studies, Putman, has been shown to decay social trust. They cause people to cocoon inside their homes. It decays social trust even for people of the same ethnicity in a particular neighborhood, and this is why the streets are empty of people playing, children playing, and they're empty of neighbors lending each other sugar and sitting on the back porch and whittling and chatting about the world and watching the cars go by, because that's what happens in these diverse countries and cultures. It's too hard, it's too complicated to figure out what everyone wants and speaks and the rules, and it's just not worth it, so people don't bother. And so it really does fragment communities in particular, which makes child raising much more complicated and difficult. So that's where people are coming into the United States as of 2014.